Hello and welcome to Charge Electric for the second range test in the Citroen e-C4. Now you might be wondering why I'm doing a second range test in the Citroen. Now if you've watched my first range test, you'll know that I drove the car in normal mode. And since I've uploaded the video, I've had quite a lot of comments from people wanting to know why I drove the car in normal mode and not eco. And I'd just like to briefly explain why. Now my main experience of EVs over the last few years has been with the Hyundai brand, and I've had both Ioniq and Kona EVs as company cars. And with those cars I soon found out that it didn't seem to matter whether you drove the car in normal or eco, you pretty much got the same efficiency out of it. So in the Hyundai brand it seemed to be more down to how you drove rather than what mode you had the car in. But I've had quite a lot of conversations with people through this channel and elsewhere as well, and it would appear that other brands, their eco buttons actually are more effective than the eco button in the Hyundais. So Yeoman Citroen in Torquay very kindly offered me the car again, the exact same car, to do the exact same route, but this time in eco mode. And we'll see what difference it makes. I'm really hoping that I will be able to get to that 170 mile mark, which at the time of filming this it is still just about winter, so it's still rather chilly, and if the car can do 170 miles in the winter with it being a bit chilly, I think that'll be a good result. So when you next see me, I'll be sat in the Citroen just about to depart on the range test. So I'll see you in a second. Right, so here I am back in the Citroen e-C4. I've just literally left the Citroen dealership and I am showing a range of 217 miles, and this is a 144 mile round trip. So exactly the same route, same distance as last time. This time I've got it in eco mode though, so hopefully this will make a big difference. So let's see how we get on. Right, you join me at the first checkpoint, so just on the outskirts of Exeter. Now at this point on the first range test I did in normal mode, I had driven forward 19 miles and the range had dropped I think by 16 miles, so I wasn't doing too bad at that point. Now this time, how many miles do you think I have lost over the first 19? Whatever number you're thinking of, I'll bet you're wrong. I have lost 5 miles. Over the first 19 miles I've driven, the range has only dropped 5 miles. And my average consumption at this point last time was 3.5 miles per kilowatt. It is now 5.2 miles per kilowatt. I was not expecting eco mode to make that much difference. If I was in a Hyundai now, it would probably only make 0.2, 0.3 miles per kilowatt difference on the eco mode. But to be nearly 2 miles per kilowatt better, that's nearly 90 miles range extra right there. I can't believe that. I can't get my head over that. The eco mode is amazing. And I'm quite lucky. The conditions today are very, very similar to the conditions the first time round as well. The air temperature is virtually the same. It's probably about 2 degrees warmer today than it was last time, but that's it. The only difference is I'm driving the car in eco mode rather than normal. But I'm heading over towards the A30, so I've got that 70 mile an hour stretch coming up, which during the last eco run was the bit that saps the range quite considerably. So we'll see how it does this time round in eco. So I'll see you in a minute. Right, so after the 14 mile stretch of A30 at 70 mile an hour, As expected, it did have a bit of a dent into the range. I hit the A30 on 205 miles remaining, and I exited with 165 miles remaining. So the range did drop 40 miles, but I was expecting that because the car had been doing so well efficiency wise up until the 70 mile an hour stretch. I was expecting it to drop as it recalculates from the efficiency. But crucially, at this point last time when I was in normal mode, I only had about 113 mile range left or something like that, and I'd averaged 3 miles per kilowatt. But this time round, at the exact same point, I have 156 miles left and I'm averaging 4 miles per kilowatt. So I'm still 1 mile per kilowatt better off than last time, even after that 70 mile an hour stretch. And at this point last time, the realization was hitting me that I wasn't going to make the round trip without having to bail out and charge somewhere. But now I'm completely chilled. I'm looking at how far I've got to go. I have, how long have I got left? About 105 miles left of this route, and I've got 156 miles of range left. So looking easy at this point. So yeah, still can't believe the difference this eco mode is making. So yeah, all happy so far. I'll catch up with you in a minute. So there we are, the halfway point. Now at this point last time, I had 67 miles left on the range and I still had to do 72 miles. So it was obvious then that I wasn't going to make it back without bailing out and having to charge. But this time I have 108 miles left and 72 miles left to go. And I am averaging 4.2 miles per kilowatt. So I still cannot believe the difference this eco button or eco mode is making to the range. The car is probably on target for about 190 mile total range at the moment, which is a huge improvement over the 140 odd that I got last time. So it looks like I will be eating my words about the range of this car, and I like being proved wrong. And like I said, if I was doing this journey in a Hyundai in eco mode, it probably wouldn't make that much difference at all, but it's amazing the difference the eco button is making to this Citroen. It seems to be far more effective than what I've been used to in the past. So yeah, really impressed with this actually. And on this route there's quite a lot of high speed uphill sections as well. As I mentioned in the previous video, this part of the country, the southwest, you're either going up a hill or down a hill. There's hardly any flat areas at all. So the fact that I'm averaging over 4 miles per kilowatt, considering the amount of hills I've got to go up, is really, really good. Very impressed at the moment. But I'll catch up with you in a little bit towards Exeter and we'll see how we're getting on then. Right, so I've just hit the 100 mile mark. So I'm 100 miles into the journey and I have 90 miles of range still left. So it looks like I'm going to absolutely smash my target of 170 miles. I'm currently on target for a total range of 190 miles. So this car is doing so much better than I thought it was going to. So yeah, it's doing incredibly well. I'm so pleased for it. Absolutely stunning. Okay, I'm just passing Exeter Services, which is where I had to bail out and charge last time because I had 21 miles left to go and 21 miles left in the range. But this time I have got 50 miles left with 21 miles to go. So no bailing out this time. I'll be able to get all the way back to Torquay, no problems at all. So I'm really, really pleased with that. But when I'm back in Torquay, I'll catch up with you and we'll have a little debrief. Right, so I'm literally just coming up to the start point now. So I'm virtually back, and I cannot believe the difference this eco mode has made on this route today over the normal mode. I have done 146 miles and I'm showing 47 miles remaining. That's absolutely incredible. Because last time in normal mode, there was no way I was going to make it back. Or if I was, it was going to be so tight whether I made it back or not. But this has done absolutely brilliantly. So impressed by the difference. Right, so let's just pull in here and see my end result. Right, there we go. Okay, yes, I've applied the parking brake. Yep, thank you very much. Right, so 146 miles, and just pulling up that slope right at the end to pull into the dealership has just dropped the range back to 41 miles. So yeah, that is looking like a total range of nearly 190 miles and an average consumption of 4.4 miles per kilowatt. That is absolutely incredible. I was expecting the difference between normal mode and eco mode to be about 0.2, 0.3 miles per kilowatt at best. I was not expecting it to make that much difference. But for it to make nearly a 1 mile per kilowatt difference, I still can't believe that. That is absolutely incredible. So the car has done much better than I thought it would in eco mode. So yeah, if you are doing a long journey in one of these Citroen e-C4s, definitely press the eco button. It makes an awful lot of difference, much more than I was expecting it to. But yeah, I'm blown away by that. And I'll happily eat my words from the range test that I did with the car in normal mode. Yeah, I was not expecting it to do that. I was expecting at best, if it did all right, to be getting about 170 miles. But bear in mind, it's still winter. The temperature outside is still a little bit chilly. And for it to be averaging close to 190 miles, that is really good. That has really impressed me, that. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found that interesting. As always, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.